All right, so welcome, family, to our first ever Icon Legends Director Team Training Call. This is our first one, and congratulations to all of you champions and everybody that is a part of the Icon Group family. I am so excited for where we're headed and what we're going to do and the directives we're going to break inside of our organization. So now we're talking about this particular call, and I've got two things to talk about: this call and how we're moving forward. So if you have a designated notebook, great. If you don't, I want you to get one. I want you to get a designated notebook where you literally, can be able to have the notes for this coming Sunday, because what I want to do is that in developing you guys, ladies and gentlemen, as leaders, what I want to do is, sometimes I'm going to pull you on to maybe cover some information from last week, to give the people from this week a little bit of a recap before we move into the next week. And so what I'm looking for before next Sunday, the logins have changed. So we now have our own Zoom ID and Zoom webinar links. And so please let your teams know the links are changing. And so I will be putting that information into the group. I will be revamping the schedule. I've just talked to Coach, so I'm going to tell you about some things that we're going to be doing as well. And so, but I'm going to need a host or a hostess for the Sunday call. My Bridget has done it for me in the past. She's amazing at doing it. I don't know if she'll want to do it every Sunday now, but I'll find out, and maybe she can do it for the first few weeks just to give you guys some training. But please volunteer so you don't have to be what we call voluntold. All right, so next things next. The Icon calendar. I have an Icon Champions calendar. So I'm able to add your email address, and whenever I post something in my Icon calendar for us, it'll populate to your phone. I think you have to accept or something like that, but it'll populate to your phone. So all of the events will hit your phone. I've got to have a way to kind of streamline that, and that way you can drop it into your calendar. So if you don't get a reminder, it's still happening. I will definitely be going back to putting things in Facebook. I figure I'll just do that Sunday nights, and we'll be able to, so you can see the events that are happening in advance and not the day of, because I'm getting better at that, Brian. So we're definitely working on that. But so if you're not on my Icon calendar, if you're not receiving notifications from the Icon Champions Gmail calendar, please text me your email address, and I will make sure that I add you to that calendar. We've had hundreds of people join recently, and I know that a lot of them don't have that. So I'll definitely do that. So here's what the host will do. The way that the order of this call will be that the host will be the person who does the welcome. Is going to welcome everybody as they come on, and you can see that, they'll be able to see that because they'll be a panelist, and they'll be able to see everybody who's on the call. And so they'll be able to welcome people to the call. But in addition to that, what will also happen is that person will, do a list of the events that are coming. So like Winners Win and Convention and Train the Trainer Online, which is next month. And, and then we're going to have our own director's leadership in October. Juliet St. John will no longer be doing the leadership. So each director has their own leadership event. Our event will be in October. The third weekend in October, we're going to be in Florida. So I know Rosa likes her calendar well in advance so that she can put things on her calendar. So Rosa, we're going to go to that to make sure that's taken care of. So, and then the hostess will introduce me. Now, what I'm going to be covering, so that I'm going to be having a welcome to all new people. So anybody who joins, from today till next Saturday or Sunday before we get on the call, it's going to be a welcome to all new guests. So you're going to want to make sure that you're letting your guests know, like I'm going to have to count on each of you. Anybody that's on your team, I'm going to need you to help me make sure they get the information. Does that make sense? And now that we're going to go to a regimented schedule, make sure that they are on the Icon calendar, alert system as well. But I want to welcome all new people. We're also going to do our awards and recognition. So anybody who hit a new position, anybody that, and we'll also acknowledge the person who sponsored the new person as well. So this call is going to be kind of a fun call, So we're going to have any awards. If you hit a new rank, if you just got 3 and free, if you just hit your $150 Fast Start bonus, you just hit Team Builder, there's going to be a big celebration for that person. Now, if you are the sponsor, if you are the, like say you broke a team builder, like say, let's just say Antoinette broke a team builder. Well, Antoinette, you're going to be the one introducing your team builder. Does that make sense? I'll introduce you, you introduce your team builder. We don't want a long introduction, but it's going to be, you know, depending on time. Now, sometimes we'll do that. Sometimes I'll just announce them depending on time. But we want to have recognition. And I'm not only going to recognize, the individual, I'm also going to recognize the states. Because right now, guys, we're in maybe 30 different, no, not that many, probably 22, 23 different states across the United States. We're also going to talk about the country. So we're going to talk about our rank, you know, our top producers, and you know, in the recruiting, as well as in, I don't know how to do Vortex sales yet, so I'm not going to say that. At least in recruiting, because I do have an ability to track that. I don't know how to track Vortex yet. So we're going to be announcing, just like they do on the Monday call, and just like we do on the Juliet St. John call, we will be announcing our champions every single week. Now, the people that I will be announcing will be running from Friday to Thursday. So I'm going to look at the report every Friday based on the surge week. Now, for those of you who are new, the surge week happens to be Friday at 12:01 a.m. Eastern. No, 1:01 a.m. Eastern, 12:01 a.m. Central, until the next Thursday at midnight Central Time. So that's our week. So right now we're on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're on day 3 of this week for Surge. This is day 3 of our Surge week. So we'll be announcing our top people, and then we'll go straight into training. And at the end of training, family, what I will also do is we're gonna, one of the things I'm gonna add in there, we're gonna talk about the team goals. Because right now this year we are slated to break 5 directors. We're slated to break 10 national builders, 20 regional builders. And I think we had it at 50 team builders. So, but one of the things that I'm listening to, family, is how powerful we are if we collectively all think about the same things and we're pushing in the same direction. So then at the end of the training, family, we'll have a special guest most weeks, or somebody from the team who's just going to kind of just maybe that top producer or what have you. So it'll follow a similar format to a couple of different things, but it's going to be this call every week, 8 o'clock. Now, please keep notes, because sometimes if I'm traveling, I'm going to need one of you champions to step up, right, and do the exact same thing. So I want you not to just listen to the conference call from the perspective of, what is she talking about this week? But I want you to listen to how our format is going to flow, how our format is going to flow. So I'm looking for that volunteer. Kirby said, I'll do it. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm looking for that volunteer. So Kirby, I will get with you and we'll start training on how to do that introduction. So we are going to talk about how we're moving forward. We're going to talk about how we are going to move forward. And so just got off of a call with Coach Lloyd Tomer, and we're going to focus our efforts on keeping this thing as simple as absolutely possible, keeping it as absolutely simple as possible. So several things that you know that the company has, well, one thing has always been a staple, and that is that we want to get everybody 3 and free. So we know that's a staple, is to get everybody 3 and free. Number 2, though, most of us know that there's a mobile coach. Now, for those of you who have the mobile coach, and sometimes you'll look on the mobile coach, if you know, and especially if you've been working with myself and some of my other regional builders, you'll know that we don't always sign the new person up with the SBA right away. The reason for that is that we wanna go ahead and get them somebody ready to go when they sign up as well. So not only I want you guys looking at your mobile coach, I also want you to write this down. You want to look at your sales report. So when you go into your back office, you're going to go to menu and then to reports, and then you're going to go to your sales reports. Now, there are 2 of them. There are actually 2 of those reports. One of those reports, let me see if I have that still pulled up. Hold on one second. One of those reports, guys, is your team builder report. Let me see if I still have that pulled up. And then the other report, yeah, so you have a sales report for your team builder group, but then you also have a sales report, guys, for your entire team. All right, so it's going to be important that if you have anybody on your team right now, whether one person or 100, it doesn't matter, that we pay attention to these two reports right here. We want to pay very close attention to these two reports right here, because those are going to be the reports that we're going to be moving from. Now, the reason mobile coach will not work if you're working with me is because I'm asking you not to sign that person as an SBA at the same time that we sign them as owning the product. And there's a strategy behind that, because what I want to do is get on the phone with them immediately. Well, let me not get to that part first, but that's just so the mobile coach only shows it if they're an SBA. You guys get that? So we want to give people a fair shot, and because it's not a requirement. Now, if you're part of another team, do what your upline says, right? But if you're part of this team, then that's the direction that we're actually going to be going into. So now, so here's the idea. So we've got our sales report, we've got our mobile coach report. Understand something. Somebody just text me about why. The reason we don't start the SBA right away is because that clock starts ticking as soon as that SBA is paid for. And so if the person is not ready, right, to start doing a conference call or whatever the case, we're going to start getting them on them if they're ready. But sometimes people are not ready, and by the time they're ready, their clock is ticked too far into the future. Does that make sense? So I want to be able to have a conversation with them and have the regional builder have a conversation with them before we start it. But it's up to you. I'm just giving you my suggestion. So sales report, mobile coach. And we want to start focusing on, please write this down, guys. We want to start focusing on their first 8 days. Things that we as a team, we're going to be the master at, and we're going to lead the company in, is focusing on people's first 8 days. That's what we're going to focus on. Now, first 8 days as an SBA. So if we've got somebody who actually joins, and becomes a member, and they do want to earn income. Now, remember, everybody doesn't want to, right? Everybody doesn't want to, build a team, but everybody wants to take this $63.54 and they want to get rid of it. So our goal is to get them what? 3 and free. So the things that you should have written down are mobile coach, 2 sales reports, right? 2 sales reports, question mark by when to launch the SBA, and then those first 8 days. And then the words 3 and free, because this is going to be the language that we just marinate ourselves in, and become the absolute best in all of Surge 365, and getting people in their first 8 days that $150 fast start bonus. We're going to get people in their first 8 days. We're going to get them 3 and free. We're going to get people in their first 8 days qualified to override. And we're going to get people in their first 8 days to team builder, or moving in the direction of team builder. Does that make sense? We're gonna set the bar high. So here is understanding that. I'm just trying to look at my notes from Coach. Understanding how what our focus is. This is the focus, right? What the ICONLegends do is we get people paid in their first 8 days as an SBA, right? So understand. So those of you didn't know, the clock doesn't start when they buy the platinum or the vortex or the membership. It starts with the SBA. And so here's what we're going to do. Here's going to be the plan of action. Here's going to be the plan of action. Okay. So first things first, number 1, when you are sitting down with someone, right? When you are sitting down with someone and they have said that they're getting started, whether they're getting started right then, whether they're getting started in a week, whatever the case may be, here is what I want you to say. Please take notes. I want you to say that a success team, right, is being assigned to you. Now on the success team is our people, one young lady who earned $100,000 in less than 6 months. She is our director. She is going to be giving you a call. Y'all got that? There's a success team that is being assigned to you, or you could say already assigned to you, right? Assigned to you. And what we're going to do is, there is a young lady, she's your director. She's going to be calling you. This lady earned $100,000 in less than 12 months. She's going to be able to show you how to do the exact same thing if that's what you want to do. But she is going to be part of your success team, okay? That sets the stage for the phone call. Does that make sense? That's going to set the stage for this phone call, but also you're going to let them know that they're not by themselves, that there's you who's sponsoring them, right? But when you say that success team, let me tell you who that is made up of. The success team, in actuality, is made up of you, who is their sponsor. Now, if you happen to be their team builder as well, it's still you. But if not, it's going to be also their team builder. It's going to be their regional builder, and it's going to be their director, okay? Now, if there's a national builder in between, fantastic. But a lot of times the national and the regional builder happen to be the same person. So, but the mobile coach report actually goes to team builder and regional builder and director, I believe. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give them a call, right? So the very first day, you're going to let me know that they just signed up. Because remember, if you don't do the SBA, I will not see it unless I see it on my sales report. So I'm going to be looking on the report, but I want you to also text me, hey, well, no, you guys we do it anyway. We normally post it in Facebook. I want y'all to start posting your own welcomes in Facebook. Is that cool? Get their picture. Whatever you do for the welcome, it doesn't have to look like mine, but as leaders, start introducing your people in the group, right? So it's going to say, waiting for approval or pending approval. I'll see it. Text me. I think I know Katrina or is it Katrina or one of the girls will text me and say, hey, my person, Patricia MacGyver, will say, hey, my person is waiting for approval. You know what I mean? So she'll text me and let me know so that I'm able to actually monitor that. So what are you doing? You're going to let them know that a success team has been assigned to you, and you will be receiving calls from your success team to help you win. As a matter of fact, your director is even going to give you a call. You're setting the stage that everybody is going to be there to help them. So on day one, I'm going to get on the phone with them, and I'm going to give them a call and let them know, that I'm here to help them get to their level of success. Now, as Coach said, we don't want to bombard people with calls. But the director, I want to be able to get in touch with your person immediately and let them know that I'm here for them. I want to relate to them. I want to hear their story. We're going to have that real conversation so that we can actually begin to connect, right? Now, we talked about, and I did a whole training on sitting down with them for their fast start. That's not what I'm doing. That's what you, okay, and your team builder will be doing. Please look at that training. I think it's in the Facebook group. It's called What Next? How you sit down and get them started. Now, if they're a long distance away, like I'm going to sponsor this lady in Massachusetts, that's not happening. So we're going to do it by way of Zoom. But I want you to study that, how to get them started, because we're going to get into these living rooms and dens and help people. So then a couple of days, a day later, we're going to have the regional builder give them a call. Now, if I happen to be all three, then it's really just me. But if it's me and then Pastor's the regional builder, Pastor Good is the team builder, then that's three different people. So the next day, the regional builder will be giving them a call. The regional builder will be giving them a call. And then the next day, the team builder, if they're different people, will be giving them a call. But either way, we want to make sure that everybody is touching that person within 24 to 48 to 72 hours. Does that make sense? Now, so let them know that. That's going to be very, very important that you actually let them know, right? That you let them know that somebody's going to be there for them. Because a lot of times people kind of fall through the cracks and may never get the necessary training, the necessary training that they needed. So here's our goal. Now, it's important that you tell the story. What Coach said is, he says, stories sell and facts tell. So he said it's important that you tell the success story of the people in your upline. So if so you got to know the success story of Leslie. You got to know the success story of Pastor Gerald. You got to know the success story of Reese. You got to know those success stories of your upline in order to be able to tell the story. Does that make sense, guys? And so when you let them know that, and not a whole hour and a half worth of anything, but a few powerful lines about the people that are going to be able to call them, that makes it exciting for them. Coach says the most important days in a brand new person's life is in their business is really 8 days, because most people are, they how people do, they kind of lose excitement in that time period. And if we're not in touch with them, then we know we could lose them. And we don't want to do that, because we're going to be the #1 team in getting people where? 3 and free, team builder, qualified to override, and with a $150 fast start bonus. So he said when we call them, so if you're one of the people that's going to call them, you're going to let them know that you're there to help them be successful, that they, make sure that they have your phone number. You're going to make sure that they're in the Facebook group. You're going to make sure that they're on the Icon, Legends, calendar, right? I'm probably going to lean more towards emails than text messages going forward, because we have too many people to actually text. He says, but when you call, become friends. He says, tell your individual story. So if you're the regional builder or the team builder, tell your individual stories. Let them know, let them feel that you're here to help them, and let them answer any questions and talk about, I'm going to talk about it, regional builder's going to talk about it, team builder's going to talk about it, talk about their success and what it means for us to get these people on their team very, very quickly. Now he said, you want to sell the dream to them about becoming successful. All of that we talked about in that training that I did on Super Saturday. It's in our Facebook page. But what he said was, we want to definitely sell them the dream and what they have to do to get people right away. Now, first thing first is, of course, we want to help them build a list. But here's what he wants me to do. He wants me to create 3 Zoom webinars per day. But these are not the standard webinar. These are 15 to 20 minute closing webinars. 15 to 20 minute closing webinars. So they will not be typical slideshow presentation. This is going to be a Zoom webinar platform where that new person invites somebody that they know to it. And it's kind of more of a wet their whistle, I guess, kind of thing. I'm going to dive into a little bit more of what he said, but it's going to be the excitement of travel, the excitement of wholesale travel, the excitement of extra income, why they're here, what you're doing for the person who invited them, and then, what we're going to do for them as well. So he said it's a 15 to 20 minute one. I'll tell a little bit about my story, talk to them about, hey, tomorrow we're going to do this again at this, and this time, inviting their guests to do the same thing. So we're going to create a funnel type system where every day you have a place to send your guests to do the, to get some basic information, and we're going to drive them to our 9 o'clock webinar. Okay. So the third thing is we're going to drive them to our 9 o'clock webinar. Okay. To our 9 p.m. Okay. Now, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit later, but so it's going to be a very, very simple system, very simple. We're going to set the stage when we're with them. When we follow up with them, if they were on a webinar, we may not be physically with them, but we follow up with them, and we always want to follow up that day, if possible, no later than 24 hours, right? So that day, no later than 24 hours. Hold on, somebody's got a question. Did you already mention the Winners Win event in June at the National Harbor? Hey, Brian, no, I did not. I didn't announce any events at all, so thank you. Brian wants us to remember Winners Win what is it? June 8th at National Harbor in Maryland. You can register. Thank you, Byron. You can register online. Right there in your back office. I think it takes you to Eventbrite, and you can register. There's going to be a rooftop party that Friday, and then the training is that Saturday. So that's June the 7th and 8th if you want to come to the party. Those of you who are on the East Coast, a lot of teams are just driving in, getting the training and driving back. Some people are coming in on Friday, going to the party, staying overnight, getting the training Saturday, driving back. But it's a very, you don't have to be there very, very long. I will do my best for those of you that are Midwest and West, that really, if flying in for one day doesn't work for you, I'll do my best to get as much of that information streamed to you as possible. Coakley doesn't like that, so I have to figure out some way to make sure you get the information. So, but thank you, Brian. That is going to be on the 8th. So we're going to go ahead and close out, family. Remember, when we're with them or following up with them, okay, their success team has been assigned. And I want you to, family, if a person says, I'm going to get in, but I can't do it for 3 weeks, I can't do it for 4 weeks, we do not wait for 3 to 4 weeks before we get back with them. We set their first 3 travel parties up immediately. Their first 3 travel parties up immediately. And so I'm going to post back into the group the calendar training so that you can understand what I'm talking about when I talk about those first 3. But let them know the success team has been assigned to them. Tell them the stories of your upline regional builder, your upline director. And then, family, let them, invite them to be on that Zoom. I got to work through that in my calendar tonight, what Coach just asked me to do. But let them know that there's going to be a quick presentation on tomorrow to be there and bring 3 to 4 people. Don't try to tell them what's going on. Just say, hey, listen, there's something exciting happening at whatever those times are. I'll post them shortly. And get them on that. Again, those will not be standard Zoom presentations. They will be all exciting, all informational. We'll get the information to people and then invite them to invite people as well. But guys, we're going to have to do it. Follow-up is going to become so critical. We're going to have to almost be 100% proficient in follow-up. I know we can do it, right? Start off with bells and whistles in our phone. But then we're going to drive them to our 9 p.m. Full Zoom webinar presentation as well. So we're going to become the most proficient and the best team at getting people 3 and free, qualified to override, having that $150 fast start bonus, hopefully the team builder as well, right? The goal will be 3 platinums, get everything done at once. But definitely on the road to team builder, but we're going to become the absolute best at doing that. And so I am absolutely proud to serve each and every one of you. I'm proud to run with each and every one of you. It's a brand new day. Everything's new. Everything is going to be new. So watch out for the change in those Zoom links. Please watch the change in the Zoom links because we're going to be on a whole different platform going forward. So God bless each and every one of you. Does anybody have any questions or comments about, let me just check the chat. Any questions or comments about anything that we are covering on this evening? Let me pull up the chat. All right, it looks like no. Does anybody have any questions whatsoever? I'm just excited. So, did I see one pop up? Yes, everything starts new today. Everything starts new today, and so you'll be getting those Zoom webinar links. My goal is also to stream the Monday night call for Juliet St. John into Zoom as well. Figure out how to do that because our international markets cannot get on a conference call. So I got to figure out how to do that, but I'll figure that out. Anybody else? Any other questions? So I'm going to shout out those of you who are on our first ever. Oh, Curvis has a question. Hold on. Curvis, I see you raised your hand. I'm trying to unmute you. Curvis, okay, Curvis, you can look at your phone and unmute your line. Let's see. Robin, hey, Robin. Yes, is there going to be another discount price on Platinum? No, ma'am. Unfortunately, Platinum will be $4.99 probably until Christmas. Normally they do it like right around Christmas, some kind of promotion at Christmas. And normally it only runs until like the 3rd or 4th of January. They extended this until they could get all of the new platforms in place, but now they're all in place. And so they don't have a reason to actually reduce the platinum. However, yeah, Robin, I'll call you in just a second on something real quick. So let's see. Any other questions, champions? All right, Curvis, did you have a question?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I wanted to know too. I wanted to know about the platinum discount price.
Okay.
Because I had some few people that were interested. I was talking to them this week and last week, and yeah, I wanted to know, did the price go back or whatever? So it's back at $4.99.
Yeah, it is at $4.99.
Okay,
yeah.
well that's good. That's still good.
Yeah, it really is for what we get, especially since
But,
when we were in conference, the guy that owns the platform that we use, he sells it for $18,000 to people. That's crazy.
yeah.
They buy it.
But since like this though, they can still get started for $177 and upgrade.
Yeah, $199. So the prices are the prices are now, guys, $199 for Vortex, $299 for the membership, and both of those are 1-point products, and then $499 for the platinum. Okay. But yes, they can, Curvis. They can get started there and upgrade later. All right, so thank you very much, Curvis, Andrea Wright, Antoinette, Brenda, Martino, thanks for being on. Come Fly and Crystal, what's that, Hawker, D Hawker, Edith, thanks for being on. Freddie, I appreciate you being on. Pastor Gerald, Katrina, Miss Leslie Johnson, Melinda, Miss Monica Banks, hey Monica, Miss Norman, Miss Robin, hey darling, Miss Rosa, Sean Graham, and Tracy Johnson. Thank you so very much for hanging in there and being on our first ever Icon Legends directorship call. Congratulations to you, team. You've done an amazing job, but they have not seen anything just yet. Love you guys. The harvest is plenty and abundance is your birthright. Have an incredible rest of your week, and we'll talk to you very soon.